Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I'm really happy that you stopped by just to see what I have to talk about today. So in today's video, I'm actually doing something very different. I had a short giveaway about a month ago, and in order to enter into the giveaway, I asked about some ideas on what type of videos you would like to see on my channel. So one of the recommendations or suggestions was to talk about my top 5 drugstore products, and at first I thought, okay, I don't know if I can come up with 5, but then once I started pulling all of my drugstore products and using them for a while, it was really hard for me to narrow it down. So I think I have 10 and maybe like a bonus, but I'm gonna go through my top 5 first, and then I'll talk about the rest afterwards. One of my first drugstore favorites or drugstore loves were these, I think these are the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows, and they are in the shades Amber Rush, and I also have the shade Eternal Sunshine, and they come in this type of packaging here. I've had this for quite some time now, and I have to say Amber Rush is probably my favorite one, but today I'm using Eternal Sunshine on all over my lids today. And what I really like about them is sort of like a pressed glitter. It just gives so much color payoff. So this is Amber Rush here. You can see a little goes a long way, and I'm going to swatch it on my hand, and if you could just see all of that shimmer and how beautiful it looks, you just pack it onto your eyes and it's just stunning. So this is Amber Rush, and this one is Eternal Sunshine, and this is just like a pure gold color. There you go. I think these were the first shadows that I actually truly loved and appreciated from the drugstore. I think a few years back I was always pretty disappointed with eyeshadows for some reason. I know that there are other products that are very affordable, but they're not necessarily in the drugstore. So that's the shadow. So that's my first drugstore love. My second one is the NYX lip liner in the shade Ever, and this is such a beautiful liner. I heard about it when I started watching YouTube about 3 years ago, and ever since, I always have a backup of this liner. This is a brand new one that I opened today, but this is just what it looks like. This is the shade Ever. I'll go ahead and swatch it on my hand, and I'm wearing it today, and it really just defines my lips a little more, and that's the shade there. And what I really like about this is that it just glides on the lips so easily. It doesn't look flaky. I can even fill in all my lips entirely and it looks wonderful. So the NYX lip liner crayon in the shade Ever. Beautiful color. I'm trying to do my top 5 first, and this is very hard. I am going to have to say that my number 3 is the Essence Satin Touch Blush. I'm pretty sure that I've mentioned it on my channel before, and this is in the shade Satin Love. And what I like about it, let me show you, it's just a neutral everyday tone, and I've also found that it just applies so nicely on the face. It doesn't get patchy, and it lasts all day. Like, it has lasting power, and we all know that blush is usually the first product that disappears on our face throughout the day, but this one just seems to stay on for me, and it's also one of those everyday shades. I have it on today. I normally like using my favorite blush brush is this Vasanti brush, but any denser type of blush brush works very well with this. I have 2 of the Essence blushes, and I like them both, but I have to say this color is my favorite just because it's an everyday shade. Number 4 is, no, R. I'm gonna have to go with the L'Oreal Infallible paints, and I have 2 of them here. These are the shade Nude Star and Spicy Blush. I have Nude Star on top of Ever on my lips right now, and this is the color. It looks like a squeezy tube, but it actually has a sponge tip applicator. Looks like this. It doesn't, let me add a little bit more. I think it's the perfect tone. If you're a medium tan skin tone, it's sort of like your lips but better. It doesn't dry down like a normal liquid lipstick, so if that's what you're looking for, this is probably not going to be for you. But I personally truly enjoy this formula. It doesn't have a smell, it doesn't have a funny taste, I never get that ring around my lips, and I just love the color. I think it's an easy everyday color to apply. I don't have to feel worried that it's going to bleed out of my lips. There's just perfect. So my perfect color is this 312 Nude Star, and this one I could wear it without lip liner. If I wear spicy blush, I do have to wear a lip liner, and it's a little bit cooler on me. So I'll go ahead and swatch. Weird place. So this is Nude Star on this side, and as you can see, it's a little more like a rosy brown, and then shade 314 Spicy Blush seems to be a little bit pink, a little bit more pink. That was a weird place to swatch, I'm so sorry. But that's what those two shades look like. Okay, number 4 is the Rimmel London Maxi Bronzer. I believe they changed the packaging on this every year, but it's always out during the summer. I have the shade 003 Dark, and it says it's a 3-in-1 silky soft bronzing powder and bronze for a sun-kissed matte complexion. It does have, I don't want to tip it over because I know the pan is falling out, but if you can see, it does have 3 different shades in it, and what I do, I tend to just swirl my brush in all of them and then apply it to my face, and it is a matte finish, but I just feel that it's never too orangey or so cool toned because I have more yellow undertones, or like I have more of an olive yellow skin complexion, and this is wonderful. I love the size of the pan too, and it's just any brush that I want to use for it works perfectly. I'm currently using the Morphe E4, which is an angled contour brush, but I use this brush with it. I've also used this is a MAC 135 brush, and I just love these big fluffy brushes for bronzer, and I love that it just fits in the pan, and it's just always so smooth all over the face. Like I love it. I actually would prefer this bronzer over most of my high-end bronzers, so this is actually one of my top products. Okay, and I am very torn for my number 5, and I am going to have to give it to, oh man. Okay, this may seem very simple for most of you, but this is it. My number 5 is the Wet n Wild Mega Liner, and this is just the shade Black. I believe it's like less than $3 at the drugstore. I love this liner, and I love high-end makeup, and one of my favorite liners has been the Stila Stay All Day. I like Trooper from Kat Von D, but that one isn't matte, so I prefer the Stila. I also have the Pat McGrath one, and I feel like that one tends to bleed a little bit, but this one, it is a brush. It's like a little tiny brush applicator, and it's very small like this, but it just creates the finest line on my eyes. It doesn't bleed through. It just, I don't know how to explain it. I know with some liquid liners, sometimes you see little lines going up into your shadow, and this doesn't do it at all. This was the biggest surprise for me. I didn't even purchase this. My niece bought it, and when I went to visit her, she told me that I had to have it, and my niece bought it for me and gifted to me. So this has been, I've been using this non-stop for months now, and I will always be repurchasing this. This is one of my top eyeliners, and I love it. I love it so much. So those are my top 5. Now the rest are also favorites, but I think that I don't use them as much because you know, sometimes I end up playing with other higher end products. The product that I was debating between having as my number 5 is the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation, SPF 15. I'm in the shade Honey Beige, which is a medium tan warm. I'm wearing it today. I try to use all of the products that I'm talking about in today's video, so I just think that it's a light to medium coverage. It feels very light on the skin. I personally feel I have huge pores, and I feel that doesn't matter what primer I have, when I apply this, for some reason it doesn't accentuate my pores. My skin just feels very smooth. It lasts throughout the day. I've been having dry skin for a few months now, and I feel like this is great. Like, it doesn't show any dryness. It stays throughout the day. I normally maybe have to blot once, but overall this is an amazing product, very affordable. It's cruelty free, even vegan, I believe. So Wet n Wild has really stepped up their game and has made amazing products. Actually, most of the products that I have here are Wet n Wild, so I love this foundation. If you haven't tried it, it has a little sponge here. I tried it once, but not my favorite. I prefer using, today I used this little Pro Mini Flawless airbrush from Sephora. This was part of a VIB Rouge gift, I think last year. But any like dense foundation brush will work. That's what I prefer to use it with. I've also applied it with a beauty sponge, but I feel like it makes the coverage a lot lighter, so I prefer the brush. But it's just a cushion foundation like this, and I still have a lot of product. And I also like that it even shows when it expires. You get 0.52 ounces. I'm not sure, you know, I guess I'm not sure what other cushion foundations, how much product they have, but this is the first one that I've tried. I really enjoy it, and I think that I would definitely repurchase this. And I actually prefer this foundation to the other Wet n Wild foundation. I think it's called the Photo Focus, and I also prefer it to the L'Oreal Infallible. I just feel that now that my skin is more dry, the L'Oreal Infallible starts clinging to dry patches, and it also starts breaking around my mouth and my nose, and I don't have those problems with this one. Okay, the next product is, if I had to choose a drugstore eyeshadow palette, it would have to be the Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach palette, and these are the newer packaging. I believe this one is a new palette though. I know they repackaged some of their other palettes, but I went ahead and I purchased this one, and I'm so impressed with these colors. They're pigmented, they have lasting power, they blended nicely, very smooth. What I did today is I used this top shade, which is called a transition shade. I used this one to set my primer, and then I used this peach here, this one right here, on the crease, and this one has some glitter specks on it. If you see that, it has some glitter specks on it, but once you apply it on your crease, they disappear. You don't really see them. And then the shade right above it that looks like a little terracotta, I put that a little bit lower on the lash line, and then the blue, I use that on the lower lash line. So I'll come a little closer so you could see it. but I feel that it blended very nicely. And when I use this palette for work, I come back after 9-10 hours and it looks exactly the same as when I left in the morning. Today I used the Infallible one all over the lid. However, the shimmers in this palette are stunning. I'll swatch 3 of them. This is what the shimmers look like. I think they're beautiful. Another product that I have been loving these past few months is the Maybelline Total Temptation Brow Definer, and I'm in the shade Deep Brown, and this is what the outer packaging looks like. I have to be honest, the brush is not my favorite. It's kind of too chubby and too short for me, but I do have to say that this brush has lasted longer than the ABH brushes on their pencil. That always breaks on me, but this one actually lasted throughout. I actually have to go replace this. That's as much as I have left. I was worried I wouldn't have enough for today, but I like it because it's not so thin where I'm afraid I'm going to break it, and it has like a little diamond shape applicator, and I just feel that it does such a great job at filling in the brows. I normally, all I do with my brows is fill them in and brush through. So I love this product. Next, I have the Maybelline Master Camo Color Correcting Pen in Apricot. This is for medium to light to medium skin tones, and basically I really like it. I only have tried maybe 2 other color correctors, and the other one just felt a lot more too thick for me. This is just very easy to blend. I don't like the applicator. I feel like it gets a little disgusting, so sorry. I've been using it, but that's what it looks like. You just click up the product and apply it. I did have to wipe it all down because the writing was like blurring off, and I had stopped using it for a while because it would start smearing all over my fingers. But other than that, it's a great product. It does great at color correcting and covering the darkness under my eyes, so love that. And ooh, lastly, I'm gonna go with the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Crown of My Canopy. I have it on today. Not sure, I did my makeup several hours ago, so not sure if you could see it very much, but this is more like a peachy gold highlight. Here's a swatch of it right there. This right here. I really like it. This is a highlight that I can use every day, and it doesn't accentuate any texture on my skin. I don't have many problem areas on my face, but I do find that some highlighters either sit on top, and I hate that. I hate when it looks like I just have powder sitting on my cheeks. This actually blends in and it doesn't accentuate any little bumps or nothing. It's amazing. So anyway, those are my top 10 products. I can't believe I've been talking this long. And I'm just so impressed. There's so many amazing drugstore products out there that I think I get caught up with the packaging of other stuff that I forget to use these things. But these are products that are normally in my everyday rotation. I either have these in my purse. I definitely use this all of the time. But yeah, these are all of my drugstore products. I hope that you enjoy watching this, and please let me know what your top drugstore product is. I'm actually very curious to know more about maybe eyeshadow palettes, because I don't have many drugstore palettes. I would want to try a couple out. yeah, tell me what your favorite drugstore palette is and something that you think I would enjoy. So talk to you all very soon. Bye!